but wanting to use some of these great descriptive words that kept coming up in the chat box to begin to write a narrative. But before we do that, another critical feature of narratives involves sequencing events. So in a moment, we're going to see a video of a snail on an open, clear CD case, and the snail will come to that open side of the CD case, and we'll watch what happens when the snail hits that barrier. And so after we watch the video, we'll ask that you use some of those descriptive words as well as the sequence of events you observe to construct a narrative about what happens when the snail hits a barrier. So I'll go ahead and start the video. And then after about a minute, I'll start it again so we can just kind of enjoy and observe this sequence of events here at the beginning. All right, I'll get it started again in a moment, but if you feel like you've got a nice sequence of events that you observe and some descriptive words you want to use, if you want to start writing your narrative, that would be great. If you want to just jot it down on a piece of paper beside you, we'll have a chance to share orally, or you could type them in the chat box as well. So either place. Start this video over. And writing, just go ahead and write your narrative as soon as you're ready. What happens when a snail hits a barrier? Ooh, good question in the chat. An informative narrative or creative narrative? I think we'll leave that up to you. Oh, there's no cat. Great. I'll start this video one more time as people are wrapping up or writing their narratives, and then in a minute or two, we'll go ahead and share a few. All right. Is there anybody, and continue writing if you're still writing, but is there anybody who would like to share their narrative? Again, either in the chat box or we have a rather large group. We could try just unmuting, or we could try to use the raise hand feature if everyone's familiar enough with Zoom to try that. Oh, great. We've got some coming in the chat box already. Sammy, the smooth-bodied snail, slowly stretched over to and then upward upon the sloped CD case. Very cool. Love those descriptive words. Yes, and Yami's using her reactions to give a round of applause. Awesome. Raising himself up to his full height, the tenacious snail slowly scoots himself forward and upwards. He scales the daunting obstacle that blocks his path. Really nice. Awesome. Tenacious snail. Love that. Snail barrier will not stop a moving snail. The snail continues to move and engages with the barrier to overcome it. Slow and steady is the key. These are great narratives. Others who would like to share either in the chat box or out loud. And you can always type in the chat that you would like to share out loud too. Thanks, Danielle. In the chat box, Bill the snail used his strong foot to climb up the clear wall. Bill is strong, but what happens when he gets to the top? Will he drop? A cliffhanger. No pun intended. These are great. Very, very creative and fun. Awesome. Any others? And again, we can just continue to keep the conversation going in the chat box. Just want to make sure I'm offering various ways of sharing here. So we wanted to have everybody reflect on these two questions that we have here, which is, how do you think doing a science activity and then writing about it lends itself to writing narrative? So how does it support that writing process?